We on? Yes. Good morning, everybody. We made it to Friday. And I think there were even a few little raindrops this morning, so that was kind of nice. So I'm Kelly Sire. I'm the Director of Marketing, and I am standing in for Ricky today. She has guests coming in from out of town and is in a flurry of activity getting ready for that. And so y'all are stuck with me this morning, but we've got some neat things in today's town hall meeting. So thank you for everyone who's come. This one's a little early in the month because we're in a five Friday month, so that kind of threw us all off a little bit. So anyway, thanks to all that are here. It's good to see you this morning. I am going to go straight into a little bit of information about our programming calendar, which I know is practically like a Bible for everyone to know about what's happening at Butterfield. We're going to make a minor change to the calendar, which you will see this month for the upcoming month for August. In the past, we have, in all of the little calendar squares, had all the fitness classes announced in those squares. And as you know, because this is a very active place, it meant that some of those squares were a very small font, very difficult to read, and that wasn't particularly helpful to anybody. So starting with the August calendar, we are going to be pulling out the fitness class times from the programming calendar schedule. And there is a second piece, if you'll go, yes, there we go. That is an insert, or it's an additional little piece that you've been getting for a couple of years. On the front page of that, it's like a newsletter where Jennifer is able to tell you about things that she has coming up or some special initiatives or things to be thinking about. And so that's the front page. And on the back page, we've actually been printing the class schedule there. So that information is in that piece. It will continue to be in that piece, but it will be a standalone outside of the regular programming calendar. You'll get them at the same time. This is also available in digital format on the resident portal, and of course you'll always see the schedule for each day on the internal channel. So that should help to make this a little bit more readable and still make sure we do a great job of promoting all of the things that Jennifer does as well. Okay. So I'll go straight into what our programming is coming up for August. There's some really neat things happening. On the 5th, on a Wednesday, we're going to be heading to the Alexander Gallery at the Walton Arts Center. And they are hosting an exhibit honoring Levon Helm, an Arkansas native, an American musician and actor who had the best rockabilly sound. So it'll be fun to sort of see a native son in this display, and I bet there's a number of you all that are very familiar with his music. On the 6th, we're going to be having the Pushpins band back on stage. They're always a favorite here, and so they'll be here again to do another dance night. So make sure you dust off your dancing shoes and get ready for that. On the 7th, hailing from Greenville, South Carolina, and this is something that we just found out about and we're able to add it to our schedule. Ariella and Nicholas are a husband and wife duo, and they are blending blue-eyed soul with elements of jazz, blues, and a hint of world music, including Italian. So it sounds like quite a cornucopia of music there. So we're looking forward to that. Then make sure to mark your calendar for Thursday, August the 13th. We'll have an informational meeting about a future Butterfield chorus. So this is exciting. We know we've got a lot of singers here, but we're going to maybe formalize this a little bit and make it a regular thing. We once had a thriving chorus with over 20 people who would give 2 to 3 concerts a year. So anyone who's interested, singing at any level, or if you're a piano player, we need a piano player. We would encourage you to join the conversation and help with planning the launch or I guess the relaunch of the Butterfield Chorus. On Friday the 14th, the Fayetteville Public Library Bookmobile will be back on site from 1:30 to 2:30. I always get tickled when the bookmobile's here because you can almost hear like a thunder of feet coming down the hallway. Everybody loves when that bookmobile arrives. So we're pleased that they're going to be back again for the coming year. Also, they will be moving their timing to Thursdays. You'll see that in the calendar. It is announced. And if you need to register for your library card and check out books, you can do that without ever leaving the Butterfield campus. On Thursday the 20th, we will be celebrating Spain's win of the World Cup with fresh handmade Spanish tapas or appetizers. And we'll also be enjoying some Spanish guitar music by William Reyes. We have some outings coming up as well. We'll be going to the 127th Tawnytown Grape Festival. That's an annual jaunt that we take. And of course, we're there for the spaghetti dinners. And let's see. We'll also have a special spot that we're heading to in Rogers called Parlay on 8th. This is a place, actually I think it's in Bentonville. I think they have a typo here. They have indoor shuffleboard, and we'll be having lunch there as well, so that'll be something kind of fun. And then we're also going to be going to Handel's Ice Cream in Fayetteville. And last but not least, has anybody been to Maid Market in Rogers yet? So I'm excited about this. Maid Market is actually a new venue that hosts a large variety of curated local artisans, and they have fresh baked goods. So what's not to love about that? So we'll be taking a trip up that way for that. You are also invited to meet Akiko Fujimoto, who is the new director of the North Arkansas Symphony. I think we had to reschedule from our prior date with that. We will be having a drop-in social with her in the lodge on Monday the 27th from 4 to 5:30. So it'll be a fun little reception time. So we moved this from the performance hall to the lodge, and we're also going to have a little bit of live background music from some of the symphony musicians. So that should be a really fun evening. And I understand she is very dynamic, so you're going to want to meet her. During August, we will also be featuring movies on the big screen right here every Saturday evening at 7 o'clock, and I hear there will be popcorn, so that should be fun. And you can bring BYOB if you want to. Enjoy the movie. Please make sure you check the sign-up sheets early because a number of the destinations, some of the food outings, several of the things are actually going to be limited in space, and there will be a cutoff for the registration. So just make sure if you really want to go that you get in there early, particularly like the spaghetti dinner. We only have a certain amount of space, so we want to make sure that if you want to go that you have the chance. And as always, we will be honoring the Silver Sluggers at the Northwest Arkansas Natural baseball games. We'll be going to the Ale Trail destination. We have Margarita Monday, as usual, Diners Club, Lunch Bunch, so make sure you have good appetite. All right, so that's it for programming. It sounds like it's going to be a really busy month. First up, we have Heather Edge. She is going to come talk to you a little bit about the Butterfield time capsule. Heather.
Good morning. I wanted to let everybody know that the time capsule burial that we had scheduled for this morning is being changed to August 17th at 10:30 a.m. This was due to getting the unit, I don't know what, the capsule, and it did not come in enough time to schedule that for today. So 10:30 a.m. on August 17th, and we're going to meet right out here in front of the lobby area. Okay, thank you.
All right, now we have a little bit of fun for you. We have some special guests this morning from Mount Sequoia. I know all of you are familiar with just the wonderful place that Mount Sequoia is. And there are a lot of things happening up there. And so we wanted to give them an opportunity to give a little bit of an update and to be able to invite you to some great things that are coming up. So we actually have 3 guests this morning. I'm very pleased to introduce the interim executive director, Ramsey Champagne. We have Leah Spears Blackman, who is the former board chair, and she is now a current board member and working as hard as ever. And then last but not least, we have Meredith Lowry, and she is also a board member, and she this year is helping to chair the Festival of Trees. So I'm very pleased to bring each of them up and just turn it over to them to talk to you about all the great things that are happening up on the Mount.
Thanks, Kelly. Good morning. How are y'all? Everybody doing okay? Thank you so much for having us today. As Kelly said, my name is Leah Spears Blackman, and I had the honor of chairing the board of directors at Mount Sequoia last year, and I'm serving as past chair. We have a lot of transition going on and have been so fortunate to have Ramsey Champagne, who was a former board member, step in as interim while we are looking for permanent replacement. We've got a lot of stuff going on while also trying to keep programming going up on the mountain and keeping everything open for people to continue to come up and enjoy the things that they love about Mount Sequoia. So I'll kick this off and talk a little bit about this program that Ramsey was kind enough to put together. This gives you an overview of some statistics. Ramsey, do you want to speak to this? And then I'll touch on the history part.
Okay, hello and thank you so much for having us. We're really glad to be here. As I'm sure many of you know, Mount Sequoia is a local nonprofit on the top of Mount Sequoia, creatively named. We have 27 acres of beautiful campus. Since 1922, it was a Methodist retreat center, and then it became a nonprofit. Since COVID, it has shifted somewhat and is now an arts and wellness nonprofit that also offers event space, lodging, programming, fabulous things like Festival of Trees and many other really lovely options. I point this way? Okay, great. So I'm gonna hand back to Leah for our history.
Okay, great, thank you. So the history of Mount Sequoia is significant to Fayetteville and to Northwest Arkansas. We celebrated our centennial just a couple of years ago, which was really significant, and truly started understanding for this current generation just the impact that Mount Sequoia has had. There's one particular structure up there called Young Lodge that was the first farmhouse that was in that part of Washington County. It's near the Overlook. Many of you have probably been through there for a reception, especially while we've been celebrating the Overlook. It's just a huge significance from the standpoint of the Methodist Church, and also bringing in so many visitors for all of those years as a retreat center from New Mexico, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and I think Missouri. And so just, you can imagine, if those walls could talk, how many people have been through the halls of the various Mount Sequoia structures. It grew. We've got several structures up there that the leadership had built to meet those retreat needs. One of them worth mentioning is Clapp Auditorium. Sequoia Hall is what I usually call the belle of the ball, and it was a woman's dormitory. The 4th floor was open air, and they would hang their laundry up there to air dry, and had gardens on the balcony. It's just incredible. And as we moved away from, and the Methodist Church no longer needed that retreat center, the board of directors at the time of 2016 had an opportunity. The church said, we can either sell this, or if you all want to take over the governance of this, and we will transfer it to a nonprofit status. And let's see what the next 100 years holds for Mount Sequoia. And the board of directors at that time had the foresight and, quite honestly, the bravery to take it on. And so if you think about that, Mount Sequoia, as we know it now, since 2016, is truly a brand new entity. It's a brand new business. And so it's still in its infancy as far as that business structure. We have a lot of things that we are trying to be good stewards of and take care of that are hundreds-year-old buildings and structures that are historic. We're on the National Historic Site. And so it's a very rich history. I invite you to come up and get a tour. We're happy to answer any questions about the significance of the history and where we're headed. So,
Thank you. All right, so our mission and vision currently, we are a welcoming space to celebrate and connect with people, land, and spirit. We're a nonprofit that's dedicated to artistic expression and personal growth, connection to nature. It's really hard not to have a connection to nature up there. It's such a phenomenal place. We have been welcoming all people for as long as I've known about Mount Sequoia. And we have a steadfast commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and really thinking about how are we stewards of this magical place. So a little bit more about our grounds. Many people think about Mount Sequoia and they think about the cross. We've added on the overlook. That was a recent renovation. Hopefully some of y'all have seen it. It has taken an already beautiful view and turned it into an incredible gathering place. We have Vesper Point, where often we host weddings, we host concerts, there have been sound baths there. Cottage Circle and its gardens, and then our walking paths. And this time of year, you can't walk around our campus without seeing a million fawns, which just makes me so happy every day. Programs, we have an incredible programming calendar. It's almost as robust as y'all's, but not quite. We offer Camp Sequoia. My kids have been campers for, I think, 5 or 6 years now. It is an incredible program. Today, our campers are hosting a lemonade stand. They've had a week-long entrepreneurship program broken into 4 groups. Each group has chosen a charity that they would like to give the proceeds to, and whichever group's special recipe makes the most money gets to choose which charity all proceeds will go to. So really trying to think about how are we not only stewards of Mount Sequoia, but effective collaborators with our community as well. We have creative spaces. We're home to 67 artists who have studio space, many of whom offer programming. We host gallery opens. We have the clay studio, and we teach clay classes, all sorts of incredible things. And then we're building out our wellness programming, looking at Qigong, yoga, sound baths, etc. So really trying to think about how are we contributing in meaningful ways to this amazing community. All right. We have the Friends of the Mountain program, which is one of our charitable giving programs in which we invite folks to join us as members, as friends. There are various tiers, and each tier comes with a certain array of access and benefits. So for instance, my family, I have 2 feral children. They are very wild. We need that pool access, and so we are recreators. And so we come and swim in the pool and play and take advantage of the other opportunities. But just wanted to share this information with y'all. And then we also are building out our volunteer programming. So this past week, we had volunteers who are collaborating with the Illinois River Watershed Coalition. We've installed some rain gardens, and we have volunteers who are coming to help us maintain our rain gardens. As those of you who know our campus know, we have infinite trees, which means we have infinite tree limbs. We have a volunteer whose whole job is coming and cutting down tree limbs, which is hugely helpful. We have volunteers who help in the gallery, who help with workshops, programming. We love our volunteers and hope that we continue to grow that population. And then Meredith will speak to our Festival of Trees programming. We're really excited about this year.
So Festival of Trees this is our 6th year. And it was born out of the need to continue to celebrate our buildings, but also they need a lot of love and attention. So this is the major fundraiser that goes towards supporting those buildings. The last couple of years, we have been in Miller Lodge, which, as part of Festival of Trees, had a facelift and is now this gorgeous area that has a area for brides to get ready if they're using that space for a wedding. This year, we are moving into the Bailey Center, which is an area that when I was on the mountain growing up, when it was a church camp, we used that for the large group space. If you've gone to Rotary Trivia Night, that's also a space that we use, but it needs some attention. And so there are things that we're planning with Festival of Trees to give it some love. We have a series of events. The Jazz Brunch kicks us off because we do music on the mountain, so we need to continue to do the things on the mountain into our series of events. We also have a Pinpoint Mixer. The bar Pinpoint off of Dixon is one that comes in, the bartender comes and makes his seasonal drinks for that. We have trivia night. We have a trail run. We have our arts market, and we have a final kickoff that is one that is just a nice festive holiday mixer. So we're looking forward to this event series, and we hope to see your shining faces at this.
All right. Thank you so much for welcoming us. We will be here. Does anyone have any questions? Yes. Yes.
I'm wondering why you have not mentioned the Phoenix Gallery in the Miller Lodge.
Thank you so much for bringing that up. So we also, part of Miller Lodge is occupied by the Phoenix Gallery, which is a local nonprofit arts gallery that is one of our close collaborators, partners, friends, community members. And they also have ongoing gallery openings, exhibitions, and are also a really fabulous space to visit. So that's part of the Miller Lodge that we collaborate with Phoenix Gallery to offer. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I really appreciate it. Any other questions? All right. Well, we hope to see y'all on the mountain at various points, and thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. So, and we, Ricky and I have actually been meeting with these ladies, and our plan is to make sure that some of these events are on our programming calendar. So be watching for more announcements about these, because we would love to fill up a bus and take it up to the mountain and have a wonderful time during a wonderful time of year. So next we have Kevin Spears coming up, and I think he's going to pretty much wrap up the meeting.
All right, good morning, everyone. I have a little different take this morning. I updated you just Monday night on all the projects and everything that's going on. So today we wanted to do an unveiling of the name of the new assisted living building. And this was chosen by members of the leadership team. And of course, today we hope is more than just the renaming of a building. It's the unveiling of a next chapter of Butterfield Trail Village. For decades, this community has been a place where people have gathered for friendship, security, and purpose, and home. And we wanted the names to be places that tell a story and not just an identity of a building. And each name was chosen because it reflects who we are, where we've been, and where we're headed. We wanted to stay away from an institutional name like the assisted living and the old assisted living, and give it a new name that means something. And it's my pleasure to introduce the names of Butterfield Trail Village for generations to come. So please, we have a 4-minute video, and please read along to the video, and then I'll explain as we wrap up. So, Nathan. Okay, we hope that when you see that, you feel the hospitality, the movement, and the sense of community that was created when those names were chosen. More importantly, we hope that you feel that our commitment to creating these spaces will honor our history while preparing us for the future. You know, the building represents an investment in the bricks and mortar, but it also represents an investment in your future and the future of the residents to come at Butterfield Trail Village. I cannot wait to see this as part of our normal daily lives and we start using this. So with that, from now on, it won't be referred to as the new assisted living. It will be the carriage house. So when you see that, that is the new Butterfield Crossing and the carriage house. See, I have to get used to it too. With that, thank you so much. And are there any questions before we depart? All right. Well, thank you so much. Have a great weekend. And we have an elevator that works. Just in time. Go take the elevator.